Now, as an anime fan, you either like main characters with the classic underdog backstories, or you like main characters who are just so overpowered they can beat the actual crap out of every villain in the universe by themselves. Or do you like both of them equally, just kinda like me? Anyway, let's get back to the topic, and so today I have the top 10 anime with the most overpowered main characters. And I'm only taking main characters into account here. So no, Gojo Satoru is not on this list. Sorry there, little Timmy. So without further delay, let's begin. So to start off the list, we've got Inspector. So at the center of this spooky spectacle is a seemingly ordinary guy who's about as overpowered as a protagonist can get without turning into a shonen cliché. This main character is the kind of guy you'd pass by in a coffee shop and never guess he's packing the power of immortality and future sight. Like if Mob from Mob Psycho 100 decided to go undercover as your average guy. Thanks to a childhood snack mix of mermaid and Kudan flesh, yes, he ate them, the main character's got the ultimate healing factor and can peek into countless futures, making him the ultimate weapon against anything supernatural. His power to foresee outcomes isn't just a party trick though, it's kinda like having the Doraemon gadget to cheat death on speed dial. No matter how dire the situation, the main character's knack for choosing the right future ensures he's always one step ahead. It's like he's playing chess while everyone else is stuck on checkers, making him the ultimate wildcard in their ghost-busting duo. Oh, and yeah, the dude is paired with a pint-sized goddess of wisdom with a love for logical deduction that would make Sherlock Holmes blush. She may have lost a leg and an eye, but she does kinda have it going for her. And next at number 9, we've got Dota, Dragon's Blood. This is like if they took Attack on Titan and blended it with the visual flair of Castlevania. Meet our valiant hero who starts as your typical noble knight with a dragon-slaying hobby. But then, just as the dude's life is looking at all swords and glory, he literally gets possessed by an elder dragon. That's right, he goes full Tokyo Ghoul Kaneki, minus the coffee shop vibes, and becomes the ultimate dragon-human hybrid. Oh, and his new powers? Let's just say he becomes the Saitama in his universe. Despite his new scale-covered arrogance, the main character's real challenge isn't facing off against monstrous threats. It's figuring out how to control his inner dragon without turning his friends into crispy critters. Watching him juggle his dual identity is like watching Naruto wrestle with the Nine Tails, except with more fire and fewer ramen breaks. And the anime Dota Dragon's Blood overall is a fire-breathing, sword-swinging romp that's as epic as it is explosive. If you enjoy watching overpowered protagonists flex their mythical muscles, this one's for you. And at number 8, we've got the God of High School. Now this one is kinda like if Dragon Ball Z decided to crash a high school sports day and made Goku compete in a tournament. Meet the main character who takes Overpowered to a whole new level, and if you think Saitama's one punch is unbeatable, Jin Mori could probably take him down with a single kick, and still have time to finish his lunch. Alright, that may be a bit too much, but you get my point, right? This dude isn't your typical high schooler. Unless your typical high schooler involves roundhouse kicks that could probably break the moon in half. His fighting style is like a mashup of Naruto's Rock Lee on a sugar rush and Hunter x Hunter's gone in beast mode. With that cheeky grin and I can beat anyone attitude, he steps into every fight like it's his birthday, and his present is to pummel you into the ground. But with all that good stuff said, this show is a really poor adaptation of the original manhwa. The show's plot is as straightforward as an anime tournament arc can be: punch first, ask questions never. But even with this simple plot, there was some character development available in the manhwa. But the anime producers were like, who needs a plot when you have epic battles that puts My Hero Academia's UA Sports Festival to shame? So let's go all about the fighting and no story. So watch this show if you're only interested in fighting. Next up at number 7, we've got Akashic Records of Bastard Magic Instructor. A show that looks like just another generic fantasy anime, but somehow turns out to be one of the more interesting fantasy shows that I've ever watched. But anywho, enter the lazy genius who somehow manages to become a teacher. He is the kind of teacher every student dreams of, but every parent fears. A guy who would rather nap through a spell-casting lecture than actually teach it. Imagine if My Hero Academia's All Might decided to ditch the heroics for Netflix and chill. But don't let his laid-back attitude fool you. Beneath his slovenly exterior beats the heart of an overpowered wizard, with a past that's more mysterious than Attack on Titan's basement, because this guy's magical prowess is off the charts, rivaling even the most potent spells from Fairy Tail's Natsu. His combat skills are so advanced that he could probably teach Dragon Ball's Goku a thing or two about hand-to-hand sorcery. But despite his disinterest in academia, The main character's real strength lies in his unconventional teaching methods, which are less school curriculum and more survival of the fittest. So if you want to watch a really entertaining fantasy anime where the main character is actually badass, yeah, this one's for you. And after that, at number 6, we have Dimension W. Now this one's kinda like if Cowboy Bebop and Ghost in the Shell had a futuristic love child with a dash of Attack on Titan's technology versus humanity drama thrown in. Wow, that's a lot. So anyways, our main character is a grumpy old school badass who despises the high-tech coils that power society. Yet he's the most overpowered Luddite in a world running on battery juice. In a world where coils, the magic-like energy sources tapping into the mysterious fourth dimension, Dimension W, have transformed society, the main character stands out as a relic from a simpler time. He's got the same despise for technology that My Hero Academia's All Might has for villainy. While everyone else is busy plugging into the Matrix, the main character's busy kicking ass and taking names with a collection of old-school cars and a fighting spirit that would make One Punch Man Saitama nod in approval. The main character's overpowered nature doesn't come from fancy coils or superpowers, it's all about his physical prowess and sheer willpower. He is like Naruto's Rock Lee if Lee got dropped into a cyberpunk world and told to solve energy crimes, while everything else zips around with high-tech gadgets. The main character's disdain for coils means he's often battling against foes with the latest tech, yet he handles them with the same nonchalance that Goku shows when squaring off against another galactic threat. Therefore, if you love seeing an overpowered character take on a cyberpunk dystopia with a punch-first, ask-questions-never attitude, the main character is your man. Next we have Mashal, Magic and Muscles. Now, almost everyone has already heard about this anime thanks to the banger opening, but that's not the point here. At the heart of this magical melee is Mash, a protagonist so absurdly overpowered that even My Hero Academia's All Might would do a double take. Mash's power lies not in some fancy incantations or ancient spells, but in good old-fashioned brute strength. He's really like One Punch Man, but instead of a bald head and an existential crisis, Mash sports a wicked set of muscles and a smile that could charm Demon Slayer's Nezuko into a staring contest. His ability to pulverize magical monsters and arrogant mages alike with his bare fists make Natsu look like he's doing a magic show at a kid's birthday party. But Mash isn't just a musclehead with fists of steel, he's got a heart of gold and loyalty that rivals Naruto's bond with Sasuke. The anime's blend of supernatural battles and slapstick comedy keeps the adrenaline pumping and the laughter rolling. Whether Mash is accidentally winning hearts or breaking walls with a single punch, every episode is a testament to his irresistible charm and overwhelming strength. So this is a must-watch for everyone looking for a fun ride. And at number 4, we have Uncle from Another World. Meet our main character, an overpowered wizard from an isekai adventure who is as clueless as he is formidable. Oh, and he's an uncle. Imagine if One Punch Man Saitama took his detachment and OP-ness to a magical universe and came back to Earth only to be baffled by modern technology. Yep, that's the uncle for you. The uncle's magic is the stuff of legends. He can summon colossal dragons, obliterate enemies with a flick of his wrist, and cast spells that would make Fairy Tail's Natsu look like he's playing with fireworks. But his true superpower? Being hilariously oblivious to how out of touch he is. He spent 17 years in another world battling demons and learning arcane secrets, only to return and use his godlike abilities to become a YouTube sensation. It's like watching Goku come back from the fighting Frieza and using his energy blast to make viral TikTok dances. So if you love seeing overpowered characters try to fit into a world that's moved on without them, Uncle will cast his spell of laughter and nostalgia on you. Then welcoming us to the top 3 is Beelzebub, the anime where the only way to pacify a demon baby is with a hefty dose of whooping. At the center of this chaotic comedy is a delinquent so overpowered he makes JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Jotaro look like he's nothing. This self-proclaimed strongest juvenile delinquent finds himself in an absurd mess when he ends up babysitting the future lord of the underworld, Baby Beel. And for a note, this dude's strength is off the charts, surpassing even One Piece's Luffy on a sugar high. He's the kind of guy that can casually split rivers with a single punch and make One Punch Man Saitama consider early retirement. His daily routine involves curb-stomping rival gang leaders and handling Baby Beel's demon-fueled tantrums, often at the same time. So if you enjoy seeing the main character in an absurd mess, this show is the one for you. But as the runners-up of today's list, we've got The Garden of Sinners. Now I'm taking all the movies into account here, not just the first one. So this anime is like diving into the deep end of a surreal and dark swimming pool filled with mystic murder mysteries served with a side of philosophical angst. And at the heart of this shadowy spectacle is a protagonist so overpowered and enigmatic that it makes Tokyo Ghoul's Kaneki Ken look like he's just having a bad hair day. And the main character's power isn't your run-of-the-mill anime ability. She's got the mystic eyes of depth perception, which is just a fancy way of saying she can see the death of everything. And this isn't some Naruto Byakugan knockoff. The main character can literally cut through the very concept of life and death with a box cutter. It's like if Death Note's Light Yagami decided to use his powers in close combat rather than scribbling names in a notebook. The main character walks through the movies with a kind of calm that makes Demon Slayer's Tanjiro look like he's on a caffeine high. She's a stoic force of nature, slicing through supernatural threats and philosophical dilemmas with the same ease that One Punch Man Saitama deals with his grocery shopping. So an awesome watch if you give this one a try. But coming in the top spot is To Your Eternity. Now, this show is kind of like if Full Metal Alchemist and a Silent Voice has a baby. And if that baby was a shape-shifting immortal orb sent to Earth to learn about humanity. Yeah, it's that kind of wild. The main character starts off as a literal ball. Don't let that fool you. This ball's got more emotional depth and raw power than most anime protagonists combined. The main character's journey begins as a blank slate, evolving from a rock to a wolf and finally to a human. His transformation skill is that he absorbs the forms and abilities of anything he encounters, making him the ultimate jack of all trades in the anime world. As the main character's powers grow, he becomes the Swiss Army knife of anime heroes. His ability to morph into his past forms are literally just so overpowered. The anime overall is a blend of profound storytelling, heart-wrenching moments, and a protagonist whose overpowered abilities are only matched by his capacity for growth and empathy. If you enjoy watching an immortal being learn what it means to be human, then this is a must-watch. Well, that's the list for today, guys. So if you were able to make it this far, please be sure to comment on which overpowered main character you would like to see in this list. Also, press the bell icon and click on that subscribe button. And if you're new, we would love you to be a part of our community. And as for now, I'll catch you later. See you in the next one.